Time now for the Educated Retirement Show with your host, Jay Kaplan. Jay discusses reverse mortgages and can answer your questions at 951-922-3532. Call lines are open at 951-922-3532. And now, here's Jay.
And here is Jay, and welcome so much to the Educated Retirement Radio. And yes, I can answer your questions, so call me to ask those questions. And what phone number, you may ask? Well, it's behind me here on the wall. I got something in front of it, but you know what? You never could read it on the video anyway, so 866-955-2233, 866-955-2233. And that's the number. That's an off-air number, but call it now and, I'll probably pick it up. What the heck? And this show is, of course, on KMET. And on this show, we will contemplate retirement and how to best prepare for retirement and how to best stay successfully retired. Absolutely meet requirement needs. Top off your tank to make it all the way. You know who else says that? And I didn't know that. I didn't know that I was the one that came up with it in the first place. I don't think I was, but I didn't know where it. Tom Hegna. Tom Hegna is going to be, he's been on the show before. He's going to be on the show next month. He is on public radio quite a bit, writes books, presentations. So I would like you to go to the website at your leisure. And that's, the name of the show, theeducatedretirement.com. And we also have a shorter one. I'm told that 8 letters or less is the perfect URL name, but we don't always care about that. But here's the one that fits that. And that's Dr. Heckham, DRHECM. And HECM stands for Home Equity Conversion Mortgage. I like to call it a program. It's a mortgage because that's what the paperwork says. But what is it? It allows you to make the equity in your home liquid. It does not mean you're taking it. It never means for sure you're going to leave nothing to your children. Nothing like that. So, I was on Ron Siegel's show one day ago. Yeah, one day ago. Yeah, yesterday. Boy, it tells you how my mind works. Anyway, I'm glad that time is slowing down to where I think of yesterday as a while ago. But, he said something on his show I think we all need to know about, and that's in California for the last 875 years. I think he said 61 years, the appreciation rate of homes is 5.9%. 5.9. So if you are taking a loan, and again, you can make payments, you don't have to make payments, but if you're not making payments and you are accruing interest at, say, 3%, which may be high for a reverse mortgage right now, but let's just keep things simple. If half of the property value or less than that is actually going up by 3%, and the entire value, twice as much, is going up at 6%, guess what's happening to your equity? It is increasing. It is continuously increasing. So I'm not going to talk about reverse mortgages for a while because I have a wonderful guest on the last half. Oh, that's me. I'm that guest. And that's going to be a pre-recorded presentation on Facebook, which hasn't shown up yet, but it's a webinar on the virtues of the reverse mortgage, and it's very easy to get through, and that kind of thing. So hopefully that will be enjoyed. The future, when is the future? The future is now. On the other hand, also, as Susan Geffen once said at her wonderful in-person web seminars, and we used to get like 300 people at a shot at Susan Geffen, the great Los Angeles elder care attorney. She would say that as long as you're alive, you have a future. So knowledge is power, and that knowledge can be at 866-955-2233, 866-955-2233. And on that website, I'm almost caught up on the YouTube section. And please do me a favor. When you go to the YouTube link, which is about halfway down the front page, go over there and subscribe. Subscribe doesn't mean you're going to, it's a separate button to get notifications. So you don't need to get notifications all the time, but subscribe. It helps me. It helps everybody actually in the profession. And the more people in the profession that get help, the more people in general get help. So look that over. I think it's a good website. It's not going to bog you down, but there's a lot of different things on it that you can come and go and take a look at your leisure. My day job, and you say, thank God he's got a day job. It is a loan officer at the Loan Source, which is the name of the company, and my NMLS license, which is the lending license, is 384565, Department of Real Estate license 792630. Do I have a license? Of course I do. Do I do real estate? I do not, but I like to keep up with what's going on with it. So I just want to give another shout out to Daryl McCants. Daryl and I were together on Tuesday night. We have, unfortunately, Daryl and myself have lost a good friend of ours, a mutual friend who passed away the week before. And several of his friends met to have a few drinks. I can't drink, so, it was iced tea for me. And that was good. But it was good to see old Daryl. He is, if you listen to his show, the Southern California Business Report, that he shares with Yvette Walker, and he always talks about me as on his advisory team, along with Bill Morris of UCI. And he's on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. So he was a little late because he had to finish his program, but I reminded him he could have done it driving over on his cell phone, but, so be it. And speaking of Daryl, no, not speaking of Daryl, today is World Snake Day. So this is a time to acknowledge these sneaky, slimy, creepy, and sometimes very dangerous and venomous creatures. And I know you people may not have seen what a snake looks like, or perhaps you get some of your friends mixed up with this type of snake. But this is, wait a minute, this next picture is the scary one. If I can kind of get dried up when you get old, I can't even move paper around. There we go. How do you like them apples? Me, not very much, but I don't want to be I hope that's a telephoto lens, because I wouldn't want to get anywhere close enough to be able to take that picture. Let me take another woo. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. It is understandable that people may fear an animal that can easily kill them, but not all snakes can kill you. Most of the snakes we have out here in California cannot kill you. However, we do have a pretty dangerous one, the rattlesnake, but the rattlesnake comes with a rattle on it. I don't know why it wants to announce itself, because, if it's trying to find something to eat, other animals should know by now that the rattle means get away from there. But snakes can range from friendly and docile to aggressive and deadly, and deserve for people to find out more about them. So out of the 3,500 species of snakes around the world, there are only about 600 that are venomous. Only 200 of those pose a considerable risk to human life. So 200 out of 3,500. So that puts the stakes on our side. Stakes, not snakes. Therefore, snakes are nowhere near as worrying or scary as we think they are. But of course, the media, and that includes movies and dramas and things like that, that includes, and I mean, why show a snake in a drama or an adventure film unless it's got the ability to kill you? So, snake in the grass is a saying. It's just a slithery soul wanting to live its life and prosper, or as Spock would say, to live long and prosper. So snakes are found in every continent except Antarctica. I think there's a lot of things that do not exist in Antarctica. They eat insects, small rodents, and frogs. Some very large snakes can even eat small deer, pigs, and monkeys. Their numbers, now, of course, uh, if you watched this movie, you will know some of the snakes that do eat people. Now, this was kind of a hokey movie, but I liked it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Uh, so it's getting a lot of Anaconda is like Jaws in the Amazon River. Well, that's okay. I'm sure somebody paid good money to get that saying, but I enjoyed it. Their numbers are declining due to deforestation and climate change. The smallest snake is the Barbados thread snake, and I guess that's because he's more like a thread, approximately 4 inches long. The heaviest is the green anaconda at around 1,100 pounds and over 12 inches in diameter. The python is the longest, which may reach a length of 26 feet. So, a way to celebrate is to watch snake movies like Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Now, this is obviously was never promoted as a snake movie, or it wouldn't have made as much success or money as it did as a film. Chamber. I liked this one. This was the second one. I really liked the first. I liked the first three, and I liked the third one the best. Done by Alfonso. What's his name? These first. What's that? Caron. Yeah, but the first two were the guy that discovered America, Chris Columbus. Thereafter, they were more like J.J. Abrams type movies. Not great, not bad. Made money. And the what do you call it? The studios liked them, so they went from there. I mean, I recommend them all, but Then there was Snakes on a Plane. Now that one was disappointing. That got so much hype. I bet it made good money. But Snakes on a Plane was a disappointment to me. The Snake Woman, now we're talking. Anaconda, or made-for-TV film Piranhaconda. Piranhaconda. That's got to be one of those sci-fi movie things. Wow. Yes, you guessed it. Half piranha, half anaconda, and it was the sequel to the horror thriller Sharktopus. Sharktopus? Sharktopus. Yeah, okay. Wow. Yeah, I know what a sharktopus is. It's got the front end of a shark, and it's got all of those tentacles. So it's kind of like if you change the shark face to a kind of a human face, it'd be more like Cthulhu that I mispronounced last week. This is Shark Week on the Discovery Channel, and the first couple of years they had that, I stayed away from it. But we started watching it last year, and there's some very good documentaries. So I'm gonna go ahead and recommend that. Now, today is also National Fresh Spinach Day. And what does fresh spinach look like?
In your grocery cart.
And remember, this is in a grocery cart, right? So we may have some of this for dinner. I do like, I like crispy salads, like, wedge salads are supposed to be cheap and low class, but I like them. But I also like spinach salads. Now, spinach is a superfood known to, and when it comes to superfood, let me show you this. I'm supposed to squeeze this, the top comes off, blah, blah, blah. And who are we talking about? Of course, we're talking about Popeye. And let me show you Pluto on the back. Was that his name, Pluto also?
Pluto.
Pluto. Okay, so, nope, can't quite get there. Anyway, it reduces the risk of heart disease, stroke, and osteoporosis. It also helps build muscle, which I really need now, and may help slow cognitive decline. That means people who know how to pronounce cognitive and those that don't. It is high in iron and is a good source of protein and calcium, and high in vitamins, low in calories and carbohydrates. Oh, remember the low carb diets everybody was on? I was too. It never helped. Ever. Never, ever. And now I eat all the carbs I can possibly find, and I still can't gain an ounce. Whatever you do, if you eat spinach today, don't eat it canned or frozen. Eat it fresh. Well, Popeye always ate it canned, so I'm going to do that also. However, there's one person who eats spinach only from a can, and that's Popeye the Sailor Man. When Popeye was created in 1929 for comic strips, studio executives recommended he eat an always handy can of spinach for his strength. That was to keep youngins wanting to eat veggies. Empowered by spinach, Popeye was able to tow a whole fleet of ships. Now, who else kind of did that in real life? Jack LaLanne, what was his name? Was it Jack LaLanne, or am I getting it mixed up with somebody else? But you can call in and tell me. Anyway, Crystal City, Texas has a statue of Popeye, and it is the spinach capital of the world. Where is that again? Texas. What else does Texas do more than anybody else? It would be cotton, followed by Arizona, I believe. It also holds a spinach festival in November, so I wonder if Popeye shows up there for that. If so, I want to be there. Now, what else is coming up here? It's not today, but it is Saturday, is Record Store Day. Now, there are 2 record store days. One we had a while ago. This one is going to be on the 17th. And, you know, I'm a record freak. So this day brings together fans, artists, and thousands of independent record stores, not only in the U.S., but also the UK, Ireland, Mexico, Europe, Japan, and Australia. And I'm going to show you a couple. I think I showed this before when we had Record Store Day the first time. These are some, whoops, excuse me. This one, the hype sticker must be on the inside that says Record Store Day, but that's okay. This is Record Store Day, Village of the Damned, John Carpenter, double album, and quite frankly, this is what you look like when you don't eat spinach, and I can't wait to hear this. I really can't wait. So that's a really neat picture. Look at that. It's kind of like the crawling eye in a way, but I really love telephone pole there. That's a great picture. So there. And he wrote this with another guy, and I said the other guy's name last time, so here is another one. And this one I hadn't opened as much. There's no reason to really pull them wide open since I don't have any way to play them without an amplifier. Cover art has never been available on vinyl before. Longtime member Christopher Frank's final studio album for Tangerine Dream. And as you can see up here, it does say Record Store Day exclusive. There are 4 tunes, as it might say. Tiger, London, Alchemy of the Heart. Alchemy goes back to Harry Potter, and Smile, but it's not the same Smile as what's his name who wrote Smile. Charlie Chaplin. So this is on yellow vinyl. Okay, and I'm going to show you one more, and then we'll take a break. And this one is Army of Darkness. Now, you may very well be This was Danny Elfman and Joseph Loduca. And yeah, I know Kathleen. And this has 2 records also. And I'm sure you know Army of Darkness is like Evil Dead 3, although Evil Dead 1 and 2 were beautiful. They were gory, but they were funny. They were great. They made the career of
Sam
Raimi and, of course, the yellow Oldsmobile guy. But look what's inside of here. And here is the hype sticker. And has this on the inside. And I just lost all the little people. And excuse me, don't go away. I had a feeling this might happen, and it did. Anyway, I don't know if you saw the movie, you'll remember all these little people that popped out of him, went after him. Anyway.
Yeah, the front and the back, too.
Yeah, they're on the front, they have a back. I don't know how many of them there are. And of course, this insert talking about it. And with that, we may be a minute or two late for our customary break. So with Army of Darkness marching, I was going to say the first 2 were independent. Army of Darkness is after Sam Raimi was discovered and was actually a big studio production, but still good. Take care of yourself. We're only going to be gone a couple of minutes. See you then. See how I swing and sway with that music? I love that music, but I really got to thank Sean for that Popeye music at the end of the last segment. So we are waiting right now for the retro rockets from NASA Nellie, and there she comes. Now she's going to have 2 presentations for us today, and she's got one. And then she has to get back up to the space station to do some repairs on the Hubble telescope. Actually, there is some repairs needed. Remember when we met Story? What's his first name? Anyway, the astronaut Story, we met him once several years ago. Yeah. What has he got? 10 PhDs and things. No wonder he could fix the Hubble. Anyway. NASA Nellie is going to speak to us about UFOs over Washington, D.C. Take it away, NASA Nellie.
Washington, D.C. UFO sighting. It is also known as the Washington Flap or the invasion of Washington. It is when E.T. came to D.C. This event
Could you repeat that? I like that.
It is when E.T. came to D.C.
Okay.
This event began on July 12, 1952 through July 27th. Edward Nugent, air traffic controller at the Washington National Airport, spotted 7 objects on his radar. Nugent's superior, Harry Barnes, later wrote, "We immediately knew that a very strange situation existed. Their movements were completely radical compared to those of ordinary aircraft. The objects moved over the White House and the U.S. Capitol. Meanwhile, a pilot, S.C. Pierman, had been waiting for permission to take off when what he believed to be a meteor was spotted and was told that the control tower's radar had detected unknown objects closing in on his position. He then observed 6 objects that were fast-moving lights streaking off at high speed. Meanwhile, Andrews Air Force Base's personnel were tracking on radar unknown objects like orange-red lights appeared to stand still, then make an abrupt change in direction and altitude. These sightings made front-page headlines around the nation, reading, "Saucers Swarm Over Capitol." This led to inquiries by President Harry Truman and led to the creation of the Robinson Panel, which was a scientific committee to review the U.S. Air Force investigation into unidentified flying objects, especially the Washington, D.C. incident. Albert M. Chop, a newspaper reporter, was very...
Let me show you what a chop looks like. This is, however, this is a lamb chop, but there you go. This is a different kind of chop than the one who worked for the newspaper.
Yeah.
Okay, but just thought I would verify things for you.
Yeah. Albert M. Chop, a newspaper reporter, was very skeptical of UFOs, but after he had the opportunity to talk to some top government officials who had become convinced that many UFO sightings represented very real craft of unknown origin, he changed his mind. He was present in the radar control room at the Washington National Airport on the night of the sightings. His UFO project involvement became the subject of the feature film Unidentified Flying Objects, the True Story of Flying Saucers. There was a press conference held at the Pentagon on July 29th when Air Force Major General John Sanford stated that the visual sightings over Washington could be explained as misidentified aerial phenomena such as stars or meteors, and that unknown radar targets could be explained by temperature inversion. Several Air Force officers disagreed with that explanation. The Robertson panel, which consisted of prominent scientists, examined the best UFO cases collected by Project Blue Book and dismissed nearly all of the UFO cases it examined as not representing anything unusual or threatening to national security. After all these years of even considering talking about UFOs was up for ridicule, going back to Roswell, New Mexico, it is somewhat refreshing to see that the subject is literally in the air again, with the revelations of the publicized videos taken by professional military with the best equipment of tic-tac imagery, zipping and zooming above and under the oceans. The subject cannot be dismissed any longer when those professionals don't even know what these objects are. My own personal opinion.
Thank you so much, NASA Nellie. But if you need to get back, go ahead. And I'm just showing some generic UFO and space stuff. This book, we found this book, I don't know, not that long ago, but I had a whole series of these when I was an urchin, a child, a baby. And I just was mesmerized by the pictures, like that picture. That was on the inside of every single one of the books in that series. And the Outer Space magazine has articles by Werner von Braun and things like that. And I showed you some pictures in there of, some fantasy pictures, but some were actually of the man from, what is that planet, Kathleen? Man from Planet X.
Oh,
but,
Robert Clark?
No, the man from Planet X. The movie you like so much.
Clark.
No, I showed you the man himself.
Oh, yes.
And the thing, but that picture is a real picture, and this is what they tried to say was temperature inversion. So there. So what do we believe here in this show? We believe in challenging the status quo. We believe that families and people need to be active and not reactive. So let's get into our general nostalgia. Whose birthday is it on the 16th, July 16th? It is Ginger Rogers, who joined us in 1911 and earned her wings in 1995. She was born Virginia Catherine McMath, born in Independence, Missouri, the only child to her mother, newspaper reporter, scriptwriter, and movie producer, and her father, an electrical engineer. Her parents separated shortly after she was born, after unsuccessfully trying to reunite the family with the father, with his family. There we go. After unsuccessfully trying to reunite his family, the father kidnapped Ginger twice, and the parents eventually divorced, and Ginger never saw her father again. I wonder if they had the license plates up on those signs on the freeways. In fact, the other day we had a helicopter come by, and it was talking about a child that was kidnapped, and they were trying to yell it out. All you could hear was the helicopter noise. I couldn't hear what they were trying to say. Anyway, in 1915, Rogers moved with her parents while her mother made a trip to Hollywood in an effort to get an essay she had written made into a film. As a teenager, she thought of becoming a school teacher, but as her mother became more involved in Hollywood, her interest changed. I don't blame her. Rogers' entertainment career began with the traveling vaudeville act of Eddie Foy. Name sounds so familiar. Foy. Oh, sorry about that. I'm thinking of the Foy from
Strangers on the Street.
not Strangers. The Lady
Lady
Vanishes. That's a whole other story. Came to town and needed a quick stand-in. At 14, she entered and won a Charleston dance contest. The prize allowed her to tour as Ginger Rogers and the Redheads for 6 months on the Orpheum circuit. Not long after, she gained recognition as a Broadway actress, and that led to a contract with Paramount with her first supporting actress role in 1940 in 42nd Street and Gold Diggers of 1933. I'll get to those a little more in a minute here. In the 30s, she did 9 films with Fred Astaire and gave RKO Pictures some of its biggest success, notably The Gay Divorcee. Boy, that would have different connotations today, wouldn't it? Top Hat and Swing Time. She turned down Donna Reed's role in It's a Wonderful Life and had considered the role of Jane Hudson in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. But we here on The Educated Retirement have exclusive access to the posters that were about to be delivered for Betty Davis and in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. And take a look. I think it would have been just fine, don't you? And
yeah.
I don't know. It looks good. Let me wait for it to show. I want to make sure it shows up. So, yeah, there we go. And it did. Okay. So Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, as we all know, Betty Davis got the part. It is noted that a scene in the film scripted Jane to hurt Blanche, and Davis literally did kick Joan Crawford in the head in that scene. It would be difficult to imagine Ginger Rogers doing that unless it was a dance step. So Ginger's hometown organized a festival in her honor and turned her birthplace and childhood home into a small museum in her name. So Rogers made over 73 films. She won 1 Academy Award for Best Actress in Kitty Foyle. And here's a short list of films. 42nd Street, which I've seen probably 300. Well, now let's go through the pictures here. You know, this is a television show. I don't know who thinks of it as radio. There is a cute little future movie star. Okay. And here she is growing up. And then I think this is the headshot she took for Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, but I could be wrong. Oh, listen, those are my bones squeaking. And I dropped another one. There we go. And then what we recognize probably most of all. And I love these films, and Fred Astaire is always great. Fred Astaire did a lot of music. I thought he had a great singing voice also. Still has, because records are still alive and well. So 42nd Street is Just wonderful. Well, now that's on top. Let me show it anyway. What's in here? Just lyrics? No, that's okay. Here's some music. Here's an album. We got several albums. This is a promotional copy. You know, 2 record set, and always good and fun to listen to. And I've got a lot of his stuff on the computer too. It's, you know, although I am a record freak, I'm not a digital freak. I do play digital music on my computer while I'm working. I can't imagine working without. Here is and again, I'm going to show Laserdisc because the pictures are biggest. The liveliest and one of the most tuneful screen comedies that has come out of Hollywood from the New York Times. And yeah, you've probably seen it. Dick Powell, of course, who I first was introduced to Dick Powell as, you know, a detective, a hard-boiled. So it was a surprise many years ago for me to get that, to understand he was actually a singer and a dancer. And of course, same for Cagney. So anyway, this is just a record of one of the redos of 42nd Street. Always a lot of fun, I think. Well, it's okay. I can show this, although there's not a whole lot you can probably see. So there. And next was, so this was directed by Lloyd Bacon, co-starred, like I said, Rick Powell, Ruby Keeler, choreographed by Bugsby Berkeley, and we got a whole set of Bugsby Berkeley movies, and they are so entertaining. Gold Diggers of 1933, directed by Mervyn Leroy, co-starred again, Dick Powell, Ruby Keeler, Dennis O'Keefe. And there you go. And then there was Flying Down to Rio, which I got somewhere. And, you know, Flying Down to Rio was kind of fun. It had dancers on the planes of a biplane, on the wings, and all kinds of really neat things like that. What you got there?
Both of them together.
Okay, just, this is a music record with the two of them singing, where they sang together. I haven't heard this in quite a while. This is volume 1, and it has such things as, you know, Don't Let It Bother You, A Needle in a Haystack, Night and Day, The Continental, Isn't It a Lovely Day, on, Cheek to Cheek, and that kind of thing. And Top Hat, which I think I showed you already. There was one. Did I not, Kathleen?
Mm-hmm.
Show. 1935, directed by Mark Sandrich, co-starred, of course, Fred Astaire, Edward Everett Horton, gay divorcee, which we talked about before. 1935, again, Mark Sandrich, co-starred Fred Astaire. Swing Time, 1936. Directed by George Stevens this time, co-starred, of course, Fred Astaire, and that kind of thing. I think this is one of my favorites, but there is very close to that same picture I showed earlier. That's such a famous picture of the two of them. Okay. So, The Barclays of Broadway, 1949. Directed by Charles Walters and co-starred Fred Astaire, Oscar Levant. Boy, who can forget Oscar Levant? I guess I did until I saw his name again. So, who else had his birthday today? Orville Redenbacher was... There it is. Now, do we have popcorn? Or?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Orville, movie theater butter, which is usually never butter. Only real ingredients, except for the butter. Now, you may hear in the background that the microwave is turned on, and we can share, this side is up and down. We can share some Orville Redenbacher's popcorn here. Pretty quickly. Now, hopefully we can hear the popping go on pretty soon. There's Orville. At least that's his publicity look. And of course, the part right down the middle, that's the publicity look, and the bow tie and a pile of popcorn. Here's another picture, him being beseeched by popcorn. Good picture, though. Not bad. He is smiling. And he's described as, a country bumpkin, which I think is what he wanted to do. Oh, I don't know if you can hear the popping. Let me shut up for a minute. I don't know if you can hear that, but you can join me for some popcorn here in just a minute. But the country bumpkin was obviously what he wanted to be, because that's what made him look like down-to-earth popcorn person. The man with the signature white wavy hair and oversized bow tie was a shrewd he was an agricultural scientist who experimented with hybrids and began his career selling fertilizer, but spent his spare time working with popcorn. He was a visionary who all but single-handedly revolutionized the American popcorn industry. Oh, that's the sound of hark. I hear the sound of popcorn coming. So Orville was born in Brazil, Brazil, Indiana, to a farmer. He grew up on his family farm, where he sometimes sold popcorn from the back of his car. Too bad I couldn't buy any popcorn out of his trunk. He graduated from his high school in the top 5% of his class. I graduated from the bottom 5%.
It's hot.
Oh, it's hot. Okay, well, let me see it anyway. Can I hold the bag? Okay. Whoa, that is hot. That just popped right out of there. That was cool. I think I'm going to wait till it cools down just a little bit. Oh, there's the popcorn on the floor. And that was cool. And then, it smells good though. And attended Purdue University and marched with the tuba. Now that tuba, okay. In their marching band, and joined their track team. I can see the track team, not so sure about the tuba, but I guess it's all real. Oh, that smells good. He spent most of his life in the agricultural industry. He and his partner bought the George F. Chester Seed Company and tried thousands of hybrid strains of popcorn. That should have been like some kind of a horror movie or monster movie where popcorn ate Cleveland. So actually, I'm hoping somebody will take up that idea. They can call me right here at the station and we'll help write a screenplay for that. But before settling on the perfect one and launch their popcorn in 1970, which captured 1/3 of the unpopped popcorn market. Excuse me, don't go away. You know what? That is good. And I haven't had pop. Oh, hold on a minute. Sean, you want some? Here. I haven't had popcorn in a while. Very good. And I understand it's not fattening. I don't know about good for you, but it ain't bad for you either. He appeared in advertising in his trademark outfit and in public. Some customers wrote letters asking if he was a real person and not an actor, so he appeared in several talk shows professing his identity. I want to make it clear that I am real, he said. Well, that is real popcorn too. So, good. Speaking of making it real, let me please remind you that you are listening to the Educated Retirement Radio here on your home planet, 1490 KMET Radio, the Mighty Met. and also to be sure to tune in to www.drheckham.com, which is my, one of the two URLs to get to my website. On that website, you'll see all of the shows. Of course, you will also see all of the shows here on the KMET website, and the shows of all the other people like Ron Siegel, whose show I was on yesterday, and Daryl McCants, who I spoke of earlier, and we're all here eating popcorn. So my phone number again is 866-955-2233, 866-955-2233, just to talk about anything. Now, we only have about 3 minutes left. Do you think that is a good time for NASA Nellie's second? NASA Nellie, as I can see her circling around, so she's just got a short couple of minutes, and after that, we will we'll take us our little break for the news and all that, and then we'll come back for our second half of this show with more and more popcorn for everyone to eat. So take it away, NASA Nellie.
The Valençol UFO sighting. In 1965, early morning on July 1st, a UFO sighting was brewing. In Valençol, France, a farmer, Maurice, was taking a break, smoking a cigarette, looked up and saw an object in the sky, and as it landed in his lavender field. He said he assumed it was a helicopter that had made an unauthorized landing, and he walked toward it and realized it was an oval-shaped structure the size of a compact automobile resting on 4 legs. In front of it stood 2 figures around 4 feet tall, dressed in gray-green clothes, oversized chins, and large eyes with no eyelids. He claimed that he was immediately paralyzed when one of the beings pointed an object looking like a wand towards him. He said that he watched the beings look at plants and making grunting sounds until they returned to the vehicle. He said that he could see both of them sitting near its controls as it flew away. It took him about 20 minutes to recover his mobility. In its wake, the object left a deep hole in the field in an area that soon hardened like concrete. Plants in the vicinity decayed, and it was noted that there was a high amount of calcium at the landing site elsewhere. According to his wife, he received some kind of communication from the beings, considered his encounter a spiritual experience, and looked at the site as hallowed ground and should be kept in his family forever. Laboratory study of the affected soil and plants were confirmed that the occurrence of an unusual event, and the witness would have no reason to fabricate the account of the incident. The Valençol case is considered one of the classic UFO reports.
Thank you so much, NASA Nellie, but we're going to have to cut to break right now. This picture is just for fun. This picture shows, what it is, shows the Earth and them doing testing on the Earth around it. So in any case, let's give it back to Sean and the station and, get caught up on some news. Don't go away, though. We got a lot more coming up. Stay tuned, and thanks so much.
You've been listening to the Educated Retirement Show with Jay Kaplan. Tune in every Friday at 3 p.m. to learn more about your mortgage and reverse mortgages. And don't forget, each show is also podcasted on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. Thanks for listening.